Hi everyone, I want to talk about one very interesting aspect of the soul shards for season 25. So in case you haven't seen them yet, you can go read the patch notes and also watch my other video or see the screenshots attached in the description. So they are extremely powerful new helm and weapon gems that you can use in season 25 only. Similar to ethereals, they will disappear afterwards. But I don't want to go over the gems themselves now. There is one use besides socketing them, which is the Caldesann's Despair or augment recipe. So this is what you usually do with your ancient items once you prepare for a push most of the time. So you can put the extra main stat on the item through the cube, and you can actually use those soul shards for the same purpose. So depending on the rank of the soul shard, you get a higher level of Caldesann's Despair. A rank 0 shard is level 50, and then you get plus 25 for each rank up to a level 125 augment. So you can see I have 125 everywhere, which equals 625 main stat. This is amazing because it makes the really boring and annoying augment grind a lot easier. Now, a lot of people seem to be quite concerned with the drop rates, but those soul shards are basically dropping left and right, not even counting the PTR bonus to magic find, because this basically does nothing in Greater Rifts, where every single item is a legendary after some point, and usually just farming at those tiers anyway. Like GR 100 plus essentially gives you full legendaries all the time, so the PTR buff to the drop rates doesn't really do anything. So yesterday I've spent some time farming some Greater Rifts, leveling my gems. Essentially I've leveled my Beneficial Trap to 140, my Striker 130, and my Enforcer 130. And in that time I've been accumulating all the consumables that dropped. The Hellforged Ember is a new type of consumable, so there's a second type of consumables in the game besides the Ranathin's gifts. And at first we thought that they actually drop in equal quantities, but this is absolutely not the case, as you can see here. I collected all these consumables that I found, and I got 40 embers and 6 gifts. So the drop rate is absolutely a lot higher than the Ranathin's gifts. It's something like a 1:6, 1:7 ratio, and you'll get a lot of these upgraded materials that you can use for your soul shards. And I think the soul shards are dropping even more than that, so you will not really have any issues to choose any of those to augment. So in my opinion, this is great news because it allows you to just like throw augments on a lot more pieces than you used to in the past. If you divide 40 by 3, this is 13. So you can make 13 full augments out of this round of basically just leveling 3 gems myself. Now, okay, there were a few torment rifts in between because I had to gather some keys, but you kind of get the idea. You get augments multiple times faster next season compared to now, which is amazing. Augments in general has been a big issue for the player base, I believe, especially for people that play multiple builds, especially after season 23 with the introduction of the set-based leaderboards. People usually trying out multiple builds on one class, and very often you run into a situation where you gear up for like 5 builds at a time in, let's say, 20 to 50 hours of playing a class efficiently, and you have like maybe one set of augments or so, and you have to kind of decide what to go with. So this is insanely great news because now you can just throw augments on your farming setup, you can throw augments on your secondary push set, on your third push set, on anything you want almost, and it's really gonna revitalize the set leaderboards, especially for the non-meta builds, I believe, because now people can actually go in and try them a bit more seriously. Now the thing is, you don't really want to waste those Hellforged Embers too much, because especially at the start of the season you will try to get your main gems first. So for example, your build might use a Sliver of Terror, and then you upgrade this a couple times, and it might roll with the wrong second stat or the wrong third stat, and you have to upgrade a few more of them. But the variety is not really large, so it's kind of easy. It's a 1 in 3 to spend 3 materials and get the effect that you want. And then, okay, maybe the second like random stat that it rolls sometimes, like here the vitality and here the range reduction and here the dexterity, etc., might be not exactly what you want at first, but you can still figure this out later when you get more drops. So those that didn't turn out the way you wanted, you can just use for a while and then use as an augment later on, which is amazing. So nothing is really wasted, and you don't have to grind gems all day long. You can focus on other activities, you can focus on different sets, and I believe this is going to be a great season simply because of that. Augments are so important for your power level and for your power progression, especially at very low paragon very early in the season, which is where most people are usually at, somewhere at like 1k, 1500, maybe 2k paragons. Augments can really boost you by quite a bit, somewhere along the lines of like 2 to 4 tiers, depending on how low you are. And additionally, it makes a lot of these very squishy builds much more playable because of the extra main stat, giving you lots of toughness scaling. So I don't really need to explain all the benefits of augments, I believe. Most people are perfectly aware. And I can just say that this is definitely a step in the right direction for the game. So especially after Season 25 will end, I think that we will see the benefits that this brings to the game, because it just boosts the progression a bit. It allows people to play more builds with augments and just have like an overall more smooth experience. So that I really hope that Blizzard will also take some inspiration for this for the future and make augment leveling less of a chore. I'm not sure exactly how they will do this, maybe with some droppable reagent similar to the Hellforged Ember. Maybe there would be something where you can just straight up boost a legendary gem by plus 50 tiers, maybe up to 100 for example, so you kind of get a head start on leveling an augment, or maybe some other mechanic where you get like double and triple upgrades on your gems when you run higher tiers, so that when, for example, the Greater Rift tier is more than 50 levels above the gem, you get like double upgrades. I don't know, there's definitely some ideas like that, but I predict that almost everyone will really appreciate the much faster caldesann despair progression that we're gonna see next season. So in essence, while farming next season, you'll acquire those Hellforged Embers just like gifts, just a lot more of them, and you can use those to first of all make the right gem for yourself, and those that didn't turn out the way you wanted, you will use for augments, and you can do that very early on already. So I gotta say, overall really cool stuff coming up in the next season, especially for someone like me who likes to push many different builds at a time. But I also believe that a lot of you guys might get more inspiration to try out another set to push on the leaderboard, something that's like off meta, maybe some really fun build that you like. And with those Hellforged Embers dropping as much as they do, even with this low sample size, it's very clear to see the difference between the amount of drops. So you can definitely expect multiple of these embers per hour, even if you're going at a slower pace, which means you can easily get like 1-2 augments or so on top of what you're already farming in your GRs, and probably get something like double or triple the amount of augments next season. And they are 125, which is definitely a decent amount. So that's already it for what I have to share here for now. Hope you liked this little video, and I'll see you guys next time.